The beginning of a 2-month affair. Okay, where to start? Well, my wife has been having an affair for the past 2 months. I just found out about 3 weeks ago. She just started a new job 2 months ago and had been talking to this guy over the phone about the job, and then one thing led to another and they started having an affair. It started out as attention and led to physical. This guy is 39, she is 33, and I am 35. We have been married for 13 years and have 3 children. She tells me she loves me but that she is not in love with me right now, but that she is trying to find her feelings. I have forgiven her and she says she has cut all ties to this guy, but she is still working there. I have asked her to quit and she refuses, so I feel they are still talking some. Whether she is still in the affair or that she is trying to cut the ties, I don't know. She says she doesn't want to hurt him even though he has nearly destroyed our marriage. The reason this all happened was the fact I didn't show her the attention she needed, and I have been calling her names and drank for years. But I have in the last 3 weeks found God and quit drinking, and I have not yelled at her or called her names since. I have God on my side now and he gives me strength. She says she is a little freaked out at the change in me, but that she had prayed for years for me to change, and I have. She says she is trying and that she is trying to find her feelings for me again, but I am simply lost and don't know what to do. I am still living at home and taking care of the kids while she works 3 days per week, and we are attending marriage counseling with a Christian marriage counselor who says we could have a beautiful marriage after we get past all this. We have both admitted to our wrongdoings and I feel that is a big step. I pray several times a day for God to help me save my marriage and for him to step in and move in our marriage and give her feelings for me back. The counselor tells me to stay at home, but I am not sure what to do. I feel like as long as I am at home, I am giving her permission to have an affair. She shows me no affection unless I ask for it, not even hold my hand or a pop kiss. We are still sleeping in the same bed and she asks me to cuddle with her every night to reassure her I am still here. She still says she loves me every time we hang up the phone or part ways. She was madly in love with me for 13 years and ran around like a chicken with her head cut off up until 2 months ago, and I noticed a change when this all came about. She says she has feelings for this man because he gave her attention when I didn't, and that she has told him she loves him. What do I do? Do I stay at home and work on this like my marriage counselor says and her feelings will eventually come back for me, or do we separate and hopefully with me being gone she will find her feelings for me again? What can I do and how can I get her to find her feelings for me again? She loved me too much to just lose them. They have to be misplaced right now. She says she is confused really bad right now and is not sure what to do. Comments. Right now, your wife is having her cake and eating it too? That must stop. She must stop all contact with the other man. If not, she should be asked to move out of the house. Hang in there. Here's my theory. Your wife broke up with you. Not too many romances are rekindled after a breakup. The ones that do are ones where time is spent apart and good feelings are rekindled. Bad are suppressed, or at least seen as not bad enough to cause a breakup. Feelings come back and couples get back together. A wife breaks up with a husband. However, she is forced to spend every day of her life with that person. Every bad trait is reinforced every day. The resentment grows. The loss of love grows stronger. It's too late to change yourself for 2 main reasons. 1, sure, you're a different person, but what is there that would make you think she's going to love that new person? She knows a lot of men and doesn't love them. She didn't choose to be with this new person you became. Why would she love him? 2, even if she loves this new person, even if she can see the one she married inside of that new person is not perfect. 1 relapse, 1 time yelling at her, 1 snide comment, 1 time having a drink too many and it's all back to square one. 3, I'll add a third. She's in defensive mode. She lost her love with you once. She's scared to start over with a man she already lost once. I guess this didn't help. I just wanted to share my theory on why changing yourself isn't an automatic cure. I changed when I realized I was losing my wife. It didn't help. OP 3 months update. Okay, it's been 5 months since the affair started and it has been ended for about a month. My DS wife says she loves me, but she still is not in love with me. She says it's getting better each day, but still not to the point where she is in love with me again. She also will not get physical with me. She says bedroom time doesn't mean that much to her. Actions do. I am nearly fed up. What is your input on this subject? I do honestly believe she has ended the affair. She also says she wants so badly to be as much in love with me as she used to be. Do I give it time or do I end it now? Been married 13 years and have 3 children, so I have a lot to lose. This is the only time she ever cheated on me. 5 months later. Okay, my wife just got out of an 8-month affair and I am 99% sure she has not contacted him in any way for over 2 months. She ended it over 2 months ago in front of me and I have kept a close eye on everything ever since. We have been married for nearly 14 years and I didn't show her that I loved her or give her attention like I should have for several of those years, which is part of the reason she strayed, and I know this and accept it, but I have thrown everything I've got into our marriage since I found out about the affair and have given her attention, affection, and do little things all the time to show her that I love her. We never separated, and I finally won her back a little over 2 months ago and successfully got her to end her affair and stay in the marriage. She always easily showed me affection and attention prior to her affair, but now it seems to be very rare, if at all, that she shows me affection or attention in the little ways, if you understand what I am trying to say. I mean, she kisses me and tells me she loves me and things like that, but she doesn't seem to do the little things out of the blue like pick up dinner, buy me a card, or text me out of the blue to show me she loves me anymore. We are having bedroom time, but not as often as I feel we should be, but she is having some female issues and seeing a doctor about that, so that's beside the point. I just feel like if she really wants me and wants us to work, she would be showing me more now than before, but she's not. I mean, she sent this guy texts all the time that she was thinking about him and did little things like that, but she doesn't do those things for me at the time being. Should I just give her more time, or should I be worried she is having second thoughts? She had never cheated on me before, this was the only time, and in the back of my mind, I seen it coming with the way I was acting and not being the husband I was capable of being. I am just scared and worried with the way she is not showing me. I do see where it could take some time, but, in my mind, and if it were me and the roles were reversed, I would be trying with everything I had to show her that I wanted it to work and that I had made a mistake, and I would be showing her all the time. I guess what I am saying is I am getting the words but not the actions. First, she did quit her job at the 1st of November, and from Nov through the end of Feb, I believe, was her time of getting over the other guy emotionally and detaching. And don't get me wrong, we are having bedroom time and we are emotionally attaching, but just not as fast as I would expect someone who wants me in our marriage as bad as she says. When I threatened to leave on 2 occasions since this all started, in the past 4 months, she has gone totally hysterical and screaming and crying and begging me to not leave, unlike I have never seen her act, and says that we were meant for each other and we can get through this and that we are stronger than this. As far as the female problems, yes, they are true. I have been to the doctor with her and they have been going on and off for years. They have just come back recently in the past year. There is proof in the trash, etc., etc., so I know for a fact that part is true. Anyways, after she ended the affair in front of me and we started to connect again, we were physical and everything was fine and had been going fairly well until I noticed that she never does any of the little things to show me she loves me, like give me a card or send me a text out of the blue telling me she misses me or loves me. So that is why I am posting on here now. Should I expect those things this soon, or should I give it some time? I mean, it is also a shock to her for me to show her appreciation and affection and love, because I used to not do that very often. I mean, this affair really got my attention and helped me realize where I was failing in our marriage and helped me work on that and be a better husband. My worries are not that she is contacting him again, because like I said, I am 99% sure she isn't. Yes, I am monitoring. My concerns are, is she having second thoughts, or is she going through the process of getting over him and what she has done? She has also changed her cell phone number and our home phone number, because when she ended it, he kept burning her phone and even our home phone up. I know she could have another phone for $20, and I know she could have done all this to try to cover it up, but I just don't think so or feel it. Another thing that makes me think the yêus is over is she would not talk to her best friend and another mutual friend while the yêus was going on, because she said she would not lie to them anymore. And now she talks to them frequently and for long periods of time, so that is another indicator to me that it is over. My hunch is she is going through the process, but I am starving for affection and attention like she gave him, and it is really getting to me. She used to do it all the time and I took it for granted and really could have cared less, because deep down I already knew she loved me. Now after all this, I realize I do need those things, and her attention and affection and the little things. I have not intentions of trying to get my attention from anyone else. I don't want anyone else, or I would not have gone through all I have gone through for the past 8 months. I know what I want, who I want my wife. But I need attention and affection from her, and I need it now and don't know what to do. I am just desperate and starving and trying to cope. I have told her that I miss and need those things on several occasions. I sat her down last night and told her again, and she revealed to me that she has been talking to the other man for 2 weeks now on the phone. Nothing physical, and they haven't met, and I have been with her every day, and he live over an hour away, so I tend to think that is true. But I don't know what is true and what isn't anymore. I have done all I know to do, and I am just lost as to how we ever got to where we are today. I love her dearly and with every bone in my body, or I would not have gone through all this. I would have left or cheated on her a long time ago. But I can't make her love me or want me and the kids. As one of you said, I can't compete with a fantasy. But I know once we end it, I am done with that chapter in my life. I will never go back to her. I think in some sick fog in her mind she thinks we are going to remarry one day if we ever divorce, and I know that I am not that type of person, and I will never remarry her, and I have told her this. I told her last night she has one chance with me, and when that's gone I am gone forever. I just feel so betrayed, belittled, worthless, useless, less of a man. I just want to crawl in a corner and hide. Few days later, she has told me that she was distancing herself from me for the past weeks and told the OM she was leaving me again, as they had been talking again on a prepaid phone. Now after last night, and I told her I was honestly done, will not put up with it anymore, and left the house and requested her to be out in 3 days after me returning from work. She has come back to me begging me to not leave, that in the past 2 weeks she has realized me and her family is what she honestly wants. We have changed her phone numbers, and she had bought a prepaid phone to contact him with, and assures me he does not have our new numbers. She just wants to end all contact and not call him and end it. She just wants to stop. She says calling him and meeting him in the past has never worked to successfully end the affair. Is that what she should do? I mean, she has told him she was leaving and I was kicking her out, and that's the last thing he knew. Is the best choice to just end all contact abruptly, or her call in front of him with me on the phone and end it in conversation and explain to him it was all a mistake and she doesn't want to continue? She also won't admit it, but she is not totally comfortable with me in bed as she once was. Always to have been until this happened. When should I expect her to feel totally confident in bed with me again physically? Will that take some time? We are back to having physical time. It is just a little uneasy feeling and awkward at the moment, because I want to show her it's not all about me in bed anymore like it once was, and I want to please her, and it makes me happy to see her pleased. It's just very complicated, but I feel the affair is actually making progress to be near the end. I am just worried about ending it by her not contacting him back in any way, and leaving him with the last thought if she was leaving me again. Any help is as always greatly appreciated. I feel like we are so close to this all being over and just want to go about it the right way. I don't know if maybe a letter to him explaining her true feelings about him, me, and her decision to be with me and her family may be the better course of action. I don't want this guy showing up on my doorstep. Bad things will happen. Comments. You're doing the opposite of what you're supposed to do. Contrary to every movie we see, telling her how you feel and showing her that you love her doesn't matter. It's not a movie where the nice guy tells the girl that he has always loved her and gets the girl at the end. It doesn't matter how you feel about her, it only matters how she feels about you. Especially in situations like, she cheats on and disrespects you in the worst way possible and you step it up and become more affectionate. She probably gets more challenge from a puppy. There is no way she respects you. She should be showing you that she is stepping it up. It is not a matter of being mean to her or any other woman for that matter, as a previous poster alluded to, but to stop being her doormat. I've had plenty of experience with women, and I've seen how many of them treat their men. The men who were not afraid of ending the relationship were treated like kings, while the men who treated them like queens were often treated like paupers. And no, the majority of these emotionally strong men were not emotional icebergs, but simply good men who, after having been burned a few times, were no longer afraid to let their women go if they proved to be unworthy of their love. You can love a woman with all your heart and soul, but love is not enough if that woman violates your trust repeatedly. OP responds, okay, to shed some light. I lived the first 13 years of our marriage acting and saying and being truthful that I didn't care if she stayed with me or left, and I honestly felt that way, okay? But when she did decide to cheat, she said she had decided to leave but just didn't know how to go about it and did not financially at the time have the opportunity. By the time she had the finances, I had caught here and realized my wrongdoings and started changing, which slowed her down and made her say, wait, there may be something left, in my opinion. So, I have been the non-caring, don't give a crap, drinking, hanging out with friends all the time, staying out late, her not knowing where I was. Although I was not cheating, I was only out drinking, playing cards with buddies. I guess my social life with my male friends were more important, and it was time for me to get my priorities straight and be more considerate and be a good husband. The affair made me realize that I have not always been a doormat. So, I have a hard time going back to those ways again and expect her to stay with me or want to be with me. She wants me here, around her, and loving her and being her husband, and I agree, I should be a better husband and father, and I have been for the past 9 months, and I have given up drinking and hanging out all the time with all my buddies. I do still play cards once per week with my buddies, which we agreed was sensible. She even plays with us usually. So, my thinking is I don't need to go back to the way that I was totally. But I do need to stop loving on her all the time, telling her I love her and being needy. She has said several times that she does not want to be alone. But I also don't want to be second choice or settled for. I want her to make a decision because she cares about me and wants me to spend the rest of our lives together. I don't want to be settled for. But my question still is this: she wants to just not contact him anymore and end it where it was after she called him for 2 weeks and told him she was leaving me again, I was kicking her out, etc. etc. I guess my question is, will it work her just not calling him back anymore, or does she need to write this letter to end it all for good? I don't think talking or calling him again is going to work. It hasn't in the past. To clarify, she did not tell the other guy it was over and that she has decided that she loves me and wants me and her family and not him. The last thing he knew is she was leaving me, and then she came to me and told me that she had made a huge mistake and broke down and called him 2 weeks ago and has been talking to him on a prepaid phone. She gave me the phone and it was destroyed, SIM card and all. We have changed our home and her cell number so he has no way to call her at the moment. She has deleted all of her email addresses with exception of one that I have access to and have never seen an email from him on that account, so don't think he has that one. Her way of wanting to handle it is to just not ever contact him again and let it go and be done with it. I feel she needs to write the letter telling him it's done and over for good and let me mail it to him. If she is not willing, I am ready to tell her she needs to leave and move out and it is over. I love her, but I need some commitment from her in some way or another other than just words. I told her it was all or nothing with me. No more riding the fence. No more talking and lies. I need proof by actions. She is terrified I am going to leave her or try to get her back with revenge, which I absolutely have no intentions and would never do that, or I would have already done it. I can bet my life on that. And then she would be all alone. If she will just end all contact and show me commitment, I am not going to leave, and I have forgiven her, but I can't keep forgiving her every day, week, or whenever she breaks down and gives in and contacts him. My question is simply, do I let it go and let her just not contact this guy again and let him wonder what happened and risk him showing up on our doorstep one day out of the blue, or do I demand a written letter to him explaining she is done with him and she wants her husband and family and what she done was wrong? I feel as though she has weaved this web and got herself into this mess and she needs to get herself out of it and fix it. Just not contacting him anymore and sweeping it under the rug I don't feel is going to work for very long. When I told her that in order for me to see some kind of commitment from her and show me that she wants me and our marriage to work and I want her to write a letter and let me mail it certified to him, she says she doesn't want to because it would just open another gate. She says she just wants to end all contact and never contact him again. I am having a hard time with this as to why she doesn't want to write the letter. She says I am not going to give her ultimatums also. Well, I am to the point of if she doesn't write this letter then there is no reason to continue with this marriage, as that just leaves the gate open for her to continue. Again, the last thing this guy was told by her about a week ago was she was leaving me again. He has not heard from her since, so I don't get where her not writing the letter is going to solve the problem. He doesn't have our new numbers and supposedly no email accounts. I just don't see him giving up that easy unless she writes the letter. I think another problem is that she doesn't understand the whole writing the letter thing. Is there a link somewhere for an explanation for what needs to be in the letter and what it should say, etc.? Couple days later. Well, she agreed to write the letter, but that it might take her a day or so to sit down and write it, but that didn't happen. Instead, the other man actually called me and said he could not deal with this anymore and wanted to meet immediately. He drove an hour, we met and talked. Then my wife came to the meeting and I told her she had to decide then and there if it was me or the other man, and the other man said the same. Very difficult situation, but my wife told me she felt awful to have feelings for another man and she could not understand how she could be in love with two men at the same time. But she chose to stay in the marriage. The other man accepted it. They both told each other goodbye. My wife apologized for what she had done to his life. He is single or this would have been a lot more involved. And I even told my wife in front of him he's 40 years old and still single. Does that not bring up any red flags to you? The other man never said one word. I mean, that says a lot right there. He's a player and gets off by breaking up marriages and putting women who are emotionally lost or hurt or deprived in these situations. Back on track though, my wife has been moping around all day. Not a lot said, and I guess that is to be expected, but guys and gals, for how long? It's killing me watching her break up with her boyfriend, but on the flip side she is doing it for me. The affair is ended as of the moment they told each other there was not going to be any form of contact from here on out, and it was over. My wife gave me her hidden cell phone and she cut up the SIM card and we destroyed the phone. We have changed all our numbers and he confirmed last night she had not given him our new home number or even knew she still had her cell phone that we changed the number on. So there has been some effort on her part to get out of the situation because she changed her cell number and then told him she didn't have one other than the prepaid Go phone she had purchased and was using. I just hope and pray this stand, and in week or couple weeks from now I am not going to my attorney filing for divorce. I feel like this was the best way to end the affair. Also note she has not been physical with the other man for nearly 2 months and we have been having sleeping together, just not as often as I feel we need to. We have a lot to work on, but we have a 15-year head start and we know each other like the back of our hands. We know exactly what the other one is thinking without speaking a word. A year later, I did have a one-night thing about 6 years ago in which my wife forgave me and we put it behind us. Simply put, I was drunk, the woman was very attractive, and my wife and I had simply drifted away apart as friends. And she was not with me at an out-of-town convention and I let it happen when I should not have. I spoke to the woman for approx. 2 weeks after that one night and then cut all ties. My wife found out 2 days later. I told my wife if she felt that she could not forgive me and wanted a divorce then I understood and deserved it, but that I had made a huge mistake and I wanted to try to work it out. Which we did. I still continued coming and going as I wanted, but I never cheated on her again, only that one time. I know that is unacceptable and a mistake, but I am being honest. I know she had no idea a lot of times what I was up to or where I was. But I was honestly not cheating, just hanging out with the guys or playing cards or what have you. Then about a year and a half ago she started a new job and met a new male co-worker and began having an affair which she hid from me for about 2 months. Then when I found out, she lied and took it further underground and continued it for a year. In that year I woke up and realized what was important to me in life and fixed a lot of things that were wrong with me. Not just to save my marriage but to make my life better and my family and wife's life better. She told me she had decided she had enough and we were not close at all when she started the affair and she was planning on leaving me. She fell in love with this man and it was a very hard affair to defeat and win her back. But I did, and we are happier now than ever, and we know we are soulmates in the loves of each other's lives, and we are both just very happy, and our kids are very happy, and our family is whole again. At the moment we are very happy, and when I say a small disagreement, that is exactly what I mean, small but annoying. We don't argue like we used to, and we are both considerate of each other, and we honestly love each other very much. We always tell each other where we are going and where we are, and I no longer drink or run around like a teenager. So enough with the background and on with the question, concern, and our two disagreements that we keep running into quite often. 1. She feels like what I did to her is no different than what she did to me. In other words, my running around drinking with my buddies and her not knowing where I was until after I already arrived at where I was going was the same as her having a full-blown affair and falling in love with another man for a year. Well, I don't see that it is anywhere near the same thing, and I wish she had just went out drinking and hanging with friends, because knowing she actually cared for another man and slept with him and went out with him really hurts me. I know we were both in the wrong, but they are both very different things. I feel like what I did was wrong and inconsiderate, however I don't feel like it was as devastating as what she did to me and our family, and they are not the same. So, what do you think about my first concern? 2. I had a one-night accident when I was away from home for work at a convention. I was drunk and my wife was not there, and we were distant at the time of my affair. Not trying to justify what I did, just trying to make you aware of what was going on at the time. On the other hand, my wife had an affair for a year, sober, and actually had feelings for this man, and she looks at it as the same as my cheating. The only thing in my opinion that is similar is that we both had slept with another person. After that fact, there is nothing similar. I feel like every time she had slept with this man or seen this man was like having another one-night thing on me. So, the way I look at it, she had 50 one-night thing, or however many times she actually seen this man, to my single one-night thing. What are your thoughts on my second concern? Everyone makes mistakes and nobody is perfect. I did not say this was a major problem. I said it was about the only thing we disagree on. We have both apologized for our wrongdoings in every way. These are just two things we agree to disagree on, and I wanted some outside opinions. Not anyone putting her or me down, either one. Humble, if you are so perfect, then why are you on this forum? I am sure you have wrongs that you have done also, instead of pointing the finger and calling other names and poor excuses. Why not be a man, woman, and stand up and fix your own problems, and if you can help someone else in the process, then that will just make it that much better. Thank you all that have given your opinion. I guess we both just need to agree to disagree and drop it and move on with what is important. Our children and each other. Our marriage. As I said, I feel like a bigger person for understanding my own faults, continuously trying to make myself a better person, and not doing the easy thing and getting a divorce. I fought for my family and wife and I won. I am damn proud of that. Right now, I am dealing with her not believing me and that I have forgiven her and that I want and love only her. I don't want anyone else, but I can't seem to get her to believe me or feel comfortable in the fact that I am not going to try to get her back. She has it in her head that I am going to get her back. I have no desire. I have told her numerous times that I have no desire and that I would not do that to her or the kids. I have not given her any reason to think I would cheat on her or get her back. I have supported her, reassured her, and done everything I know possible to make her know. It's like she just thinks it is too good to be true. 2 years later, OP left his ex-wife, by the way. I had honestly found in her my soulmate and loved her as much if not more than my ex-wife of 10 plus years. Not sure I want her back or not right now, but I would like to know what everyone feels would be the best things to say to a cheating woman who has cheated with her opposite gender guy best friend she claimed was never possible or never going to happen. They had been together in the past and it didn't work, so I trusted her and honestly felt this could not happen. I was introduced to him. He has a live in GF, and we all regularly hung out. This completely came out of nowhere. I did not see it coming at all. I trusted her until the point that I couldn't, and I know for certain, not jumping to conclusions. I caught her with him spending the night at her house. I know every situation is different, but I do want to tell her and say to her the correct things to make her understand what she has done, how much she has totally betrayed my trust. There are kids involved and I have been a father to her kids whose father has nothing to do with them anymore. This makes it very hard as I love the kids like my own and they loved me and I also have kids. I feel she not only betrayed me but she betrayed all the kids. This is infidelity after leaving my ex-wife for her cheating 2 years ago. This is a woman that I fell in love with after divorce. But it does not make it any different in my eyes or any easier to deal with. I want to say something to her, but I really am at a loss for words. There were no signs or problems leading up to this. It just came from nowhere out of the blue and hit hard. I had been understanding with her and her opposite gender BF as I have a GF of opposite gender in which I do not in any way look at her any different than my BF. My sister. I would never have a romantic relationship with my BF as I feel as she is my long-lost sis. And that is totally honest. Hopefully there are several responses on this as it is really bothering me. I need to clarify, I did not catch them in bed. I went to drop something off at her house as I was going to work and his car was there at 12 a.m. Her blinds were open and her kid was asleep on the couch. I confronted her with it when she woke the next day and she told me he had stopped by her house driving drunk and could not drive and she made him stay. My question was why she could not have called someone to come get him and take him home, that she had totally crossed the line. Why did he sleep in her bed instead of her and her daughter sleeping in her bed and him sleeping on the couch? Then over a period of a week I seen his car there 3 or 4 times late at night and I put 2 and 2 together. Nonetheless it is crossing the line. We broke up. She basically broke up with me after confronting her and her telling me it was her home and she would have whatever friends over when she wanted. I told her she was crossing the line, that if she wanted to be with me that there would not be any men spend the night at her home, drunk or sober. And her response to me was duck you and we have not talked since. She has not admitted to anything and would not discuss it at the time. I don't want to be a creep or anything, but I deserve an answer, an explanation. That's really all I want, that way I can put my mind at ease. However, I don't think she is going to give me one as I sense she is feeling guilty. She told me several times that she would never cheat on me, that she had been done like that too many times and would never do me like that. But obviously she did. I have come to realize that when people openly claim they won't do something or they are not that kind of person, well, that's exactly what they will do and that is exactly the type of person they are. I did just come out of a marriage with a woman that cheated on me, so I was obviously very alert. I think this is something that has happened in the past couple of weeks. And let's face it, when you are close to someone, you can tell a change like that. And that change came about 2 weeks ago. I may have not known it with my ex-wife, but I know the signs now if you know what I am saying. My comment: OP, you did the right thing. You walked away. Stick with your gut. Sure, you are sensitive to infidelity because you experienced it beforehand. What is worse is your GF knew this and still cheated on you. Guess what? Stay dark. Focus on you. And if you have anything that belongs to her, just drop it off when no one is home. The woman is a loser. Better 1 year lost than 10 or more. And the next time you see her guy BFF, just step towards him. Watch him flinch, then smile and walk away. Because she is obviously not worth it. Did you guys like this 5-year story? Sub and bell and check out the previous